Hello. Here is a link that randomly showed up in my YouTube home feed browsing, I think like 2 weeks ago. It's something that's been talked about for at least a couple of years, and there was no written policy. There were no actual, it was just these two words was all anyone had ever heard in their own opinion, each individual person's perspective, just whatever it meant. And they finally came up with like an actual policy, a written policy. So after a couple of weeks, I'm looking through it, and just some of my thoughts. Because YouTube is the largest website, at least Google is the largest website, and it owns YouTube and Alphabet, their parent, both the parent company of Google and YouTube. The community guidelines could actually be called like guidelines for the world. Sort of not much different than religious commandments in the Bible. It's supposed to be universal laws, like the 10 Commandments, and there's like 500 or more in the Old Testament. It's supposed to be universal. Each country has its own individual laws. And there's biblical laws, but that sort of overarchingly apply to every single country. Meanwhile, every country has its individual laws, every state, city, and every et cetera. Et cetera is Latin. What else? So, what I notice here when it says we do not, regardless. So let me just change one word into regarding, like in an email subject line. Yeah, like in an email subject line, it says RE, or I'm writing it backwards. That's so strange. Yeah, this is my left hand. That's how I actually write. It says RE dot dot. That means regarding, like to look at. It's French. If I change that to regarding the subject of the creator, quote unquote, for example, me or anyone, that could be changed to your, the word your. So regarding the subject of your background, comma, political perspective, or like regarding position or affiliation. Those are, I think everyone would agree, those are the most four important parts of why a person would get fired or hired at any job around the world, regardless of where they grew up, what language they speak, what culture they're from. These are the four main reasons that people are either hired or fired, and it's not ever spoken about. And because YouTube, as previously mentioned, is the largest website, next to Facebook. That's the two places I'll be uploading here. And what I generally do is I have two different titles. I have one title on YouTube. It's sort of a personalized title for people who are closer to me than random people on YouTube who, that's more of a universal title. I also have my Watch Later playlist on YouTube. Anyways. Oh, let me say another thing. Even when videos are recorded or uploaded, there's a machine algorithm program that scans through them. It can generate the sound that I'm saying into written words. And so there's this universal English that's overtaken traditional English, comma, space, traditionally, England was seen as the way to speak English. And then all the different parts of the world of the United Kingdom all had different accents. Yet, the American Hollywood English accent, if I had grown up in the same area around the same people 100 years ago, this part of the Metroplex, whatever, this part of Texas, everyone would have a thick Southern accent. But because we spend so much time watching Hollywood movies and listening to music, it's sort of merged into what Siri and Alexa can understand. That is the universal language. So the best bet for anyone in a job interview is to be decipherable, to speak in, I understand people have speech impediments, and people will lose their confidence when they see what the auto-generated captions are of what they're saying, what it sounds like they're saying. Yeah, it might be able, like people who have a different accent would be able to understand the dialect, yet the Siri, Alexa, if they can't understand what the person's saying, that is the key indicator that just anyone at any other job across the world, in English-speaking places, would not be able to understand that. So I suggest everyone, with this app, Camify Live, I can even turn off the screen. Like if I press the power button, I can turn it off, and now it's just an audio blog. And then I can turn it back on, whatever. And Facebook just added the feature to add captions into, I don't know if it's just short videos that are in portrait mode versus landscape. I don't know. I don't know what to say on my opinion on this. It's so complicated. All I wanted to say was that the community guidelines are actually like world guidelines, similar to the Ten Commandments or like religious laws, because YouTube is such a large platform, the largest on the internet. I don't like to even say the word platform. That's when people are making complaints and stuff. And I think, the way that I find random people on YouTube that I find more interesting, to be quite honest, than political channels and stuff. I don't follow any political channels from Albany, New York. And that's a joke. Anyways, well, it's not a joke. That's the truth. I really don't follow political channels. I type in search terms, and then I change the settings to stuff that was just added this week, stuff that was added this month, and I find smaller channels that I find more interesting. That's just me personally. Rather than the mainstream, like what everyone else is watching. Why did I mention that though? Oh, I think that YouTube should change their default when people make search terms. Instead of showing the mainstream 1 million views uploaded 3 years ago, let's be honest, 2 and 3 years ago was a different time period, and perhaps everything should be changed, or forgotten. In my opinion, if it was up to me, everything from before the year 2000 and Y2K would be erased from history, if that was just me. Not digital history. It would be outlawed to speak on anything, and eventually it's going to happen, even people who were born during the 19th century. We're going through 19 withdrawals. The number of times the word 19 was mentioned, talking about 1990, 1998, 1971, the number of times it was written and mentioned and spoken from person to person, peer to peer, we're going through withdrawals because there's not going to be another 19 year until 2119. And so the whole world is feeling the pain of the end of the 19th century or the 20th centuries, what is 1900 to the year 2000 and Y2K. And, there's not going to be another 19th century until the 119th century. That is 10 millennia away. That's like really far away. So that's what the deep, people can feel it deep in their heart or whatever. That's I don't know. The statue of Amerigo Vespucci, my distant cousin, explored Florence, Italy. Explorer of Florence, Italy. That's where America's given name originates is Amerigo Vespucci. Why did I mention him though? I don't remember. Whatever I just said before that somehow relates to what I was saying about Vespucci. So I'm not going to forget this link, and I'll probably copy it and even share it, because if I had just disregarded this, I would have lost it. I don't think anyone ever reads this or even gets notified what it means. It looks like there's even other things here. Enforce, the easiest way to understand enforce is like the enforcer character in the movie Mad Max, the original 80s man, Mel Gibson. In that version, his car says enforcer on the bumper. There's different types of things. Well, I didn't expect this video to go on so long. I was just going to say, I'm just trying to say so long. Oh, here's a full list. Spam. Yeah, I called someone in the live chat, spam me the bull. Someone came in and just started posting a bunch of links and like, yeah, it's really easy to see through spam. I don't spam. Fake engagement when someone's pretending that they're watching. Impersonation, I don't know. Documenting false documents, fraud, I don't know what to say. External links. So on every Facebook link it says I war. Every single Facebook link, after you click a link to a different site on Facebook and go to a different site, if you look at the referral link, it'll say I war in this like random generated thing. It always starts with I war. I think maybe that's where Eddie Murphy gets his stand-up comedian special name, Raw, Eddie Murphy Raw, because of Ed Ward. It's war backwards. Anyways, why did I mention that? Where did I see that? Oh, external links. Yeah, so I just try to, if I'm on Facebook, I try to share Facebook links or just my YouTube playlist. That's less than a YouTube video. If I'm on YouTube, I try to share channels. I have my playlist there too. Deceptive practices, I don't know. So the most common external links on YouTube is when people try to get people to go to Discord. I found one called linkello.com that needs no email, no registration. It's just share a link, click it, say hello, and that's all. It's just a website, no app, nothing. And I even have videos using that site. Scams, I don't know. There's YouTube channels dedicated to scams. Playlists? Okay. So I'm going to read playlists because that is some real like uncharted territory. Additional policies, sensitive content, thumbnails. I would say overall, when Facebook or when YouTube first started, it was sort of a free for all. I think everyone is. It sort of seems like everyone has sort of cleaned up their act across the spectrum of everyone on YouTube. I see a lot of people like on Facebook's mission statement, connecting people around the world. YouTube's good for that too. Yeah, so it gets like more and more serious the farther I get into this. Monetization policies, I've never even made an attempt to monetize my channel, so I don't know. That's cool. I'm glad I saved that link. Did I accidentally click something, or I'm gonna check out this playlist stuff. I don't know what that icon means. What is that icon? I wonder how long this video is. Playlists are great. And that's all. This is not a complete list regarding playlists. I don't know. I always just look for comedy. That's just, and when I say I didn't always. No, I did not always used to. Whoa. See, I was trying to include a video called The Letter Guy yesterday, and all it showed me was results were from Family Guy, The Letter This, there's all these different sketches or whatever they're animated things from the TV show Family Guy about letters. And I'm talking about the letter that Guy Fawkes wrote, 500 years ago or something, 400 years ago, in English. It's not funny. It's easy to make fun of, though. But he's a letter guy. The letter Guy Fawkes. Is that why we call people guys? I don't know. Because of this one guy named Guy Fawkes? I don't know. I would have to say that Guy Fawkes had the best bombing. I was just gonna say it. No, I'm retarded. I'm not smart. That's what, if Italian Americans are known for anything, is not being smart. I can't remember where I do. It was in Lee Cole's Black Hole live stream regarding the Italian mob, and he's from Boston, and he's an Irish American. And I said, show me an honest Armenian, and I'll show you a smart Italian. So Armenians, Eastern Europeans, are not known for being honest, and Italian Americans are not known for speaking smartly, even though we are smart. I don't know. Wow, that's serious. I thought playlist was like the least. It's really like making a playlist of other people's videos. I don't know. I'll read up on this later. So I have tabs over here at the bottom. So it's youtube.com/howyoutube. Oh, and another word for YouTube is what? See, when my power icon right here, if I try to end this video improperly, it's just going to corrupt the whole file, and there will be zero video and zero audio or anything. It'll still be like a half a gigabyte because this feels about 30 minutes. Oh, 20 minutes. The word YouTube, you could call it tuberculosis, aka T initial B initial. That was the old terminology. Your tube, or the community tube. Yeah, like I said, in the community guidelines, you can change that out because it's the largest website for your guidelines. And regardless of the subject or your background, right here, change this creator tube, right? Is that what I said? No, community tube. I don't know. I thought of a really funny way to make fun of YouTube. No, I'm not going to say it. But I was watching the Emmys when Saturday Night Live accepted their best improv sketch. What was the award that they won? It was like I want to say 80th. It was the 62nd Emmys. That's how many Emmy Awards ceremonies there's been. And Saturday Night Live has been on the air for 40 years, 46 years. I think it'll be their 47th season, starting soon, hopefully. Anyways. So, what? Oh, at the Emmy Awards ceremony, they had these giant letters, and it kind of looked like, imagine in Times Square when they first had that giant ticker that shows the stock prices, and Times Square. I don't know what to say. On the side of the building, there's this big blinking. They can write words on the side of the building that scroll. The letters that scroll that says like Dow Industrial Average. Anyways, it said Saturday Night Live so large that they cut off part of the word Saturday and it just said turd. Like turd day night live. And I thought that was really funny. So in a live chat just now, I had the idea that we could take headlines from the magazine that was Mad Magazine's largest competitor. Phone is ringing, and I'm going to end the video. It sounds like an unidentified number.